where she basically throws you under the bus and says that Glenn Beck is more of an ally to her than you are.
And also that I did it for money. Like this is the heresy she's screaming about. She's projecting if I did it for money, why would I leave the money? I don't tell people to go to my YouTube channel. I probably have 30 subscribers. I put videos up so random nobody would follow me on YouTube. That's the idea that I'm doing it for money is absolutely ridiculous. Or whatever the next thing I'm going to be doing.
In this clip, we are diving into the firestorm that ex-TYT host Mondale Robinson just ignited. He goes onto the vanguard where he does not hold back as he calls out Ana Kasparian, Cenk Uygur, and the entire TYT establishment for gaslighting their audience, abandoning progressive principles, and engaging in blatant hypocrisy. This is the kind of inside expose that forces you to question what TYT really stands for today. So let's get into it and break down his points with our unfiltered take as always.
Is disgusting because what she didn't say was this contributor who calls a spectacle talking about me, I guess, right? What she didn't say was he's a mayor, he's a political consultant, he's also the founder of Black Male Voter Project, which is the nation's largest organization reaching Black men, which I've always been doing, which I was doing well before them. So this idea that you are upset that I'm protesting against your shift. Furthermore, here's what's beautiful. What she didn't tell the people in her Substack is that her so-called civil conversation, you call me and people on the left religious zealots. She called us religious zealots. Misaligning or malaligning people is exactly what she was doing in that post that got her fired up. This grift where you could be so wrong, get called on it, and the first thing you could do is complain as if it didn't happen. Is the biggest spectacle that I'm seeing from TYT.
I completely agree. Calling the progressive left religious zealots is Ana's way of deflecting criticism while demonizing anyone who challenges her shift to the center. Mondale's right. This kind of rhetoric isn't just dismissive, it's divisive. TYT built its brand on uniting progressives, but now they're burning bridges faster than they can build them.
And this is the frustration with how I'm so upset that I haven't heard from Cenk. I don't care if I hear from Ana. I never really had a real relationship with her. She means nothing to me in the grand scheme of things as it pertains to relationship-wise or me putting trust in her. It never happened. It never happened. If this message would have came from Rashad Ritchie, I would be heartbroken. But from her, I expect it. I expect it. She is telling me that she's telling not just me, she's signaling to the entire MAGA people that she is friendly to them. She's safe space for them now. Because you're not unaligning with them. You're just telling us that you're putting a flag down to the left of where you are. You're no longer with us. Well, we've already seen that, and we're seeing it.
Oh, it's such a great point too that how she lied about you trying to use your exit from the Young Turks to build your own platform or to somehow in a careerist sense, like in a Dave Rubin sense or something. What's hilarious actually is if you guys go back and watch the moment where Mayor Robinson quit on Ben Dixon's stream, he says subscribe to Ben Dixon. Yeah. He doesn't say subscribe to me. You don't promote any of your own stuff at all. As you said, I don't even if you have a YouTube channel, it's not like you even really post to it that much. This is not some big career pivot for you. You only endorsed your friend Ben Dixon, who, by the way, we also endorse. Everyone should definitely go subscribe to Benjamin Dixon. He does absolutely great work. And much like Mayor Robinson has been incredibly clear-eyed when it comes to the situation with Cenk and Ana. But yeah, that's just a complete fucking lie. You never endorsed your next project. You never tried to make a cent off of this. In fact, you've really only used this opportunity as an excuse to try to bolster the rest of progressive media and in a very selfless way, honestly, in a way that's like the opposite of the sort of narcissistic bullshit that is constantly being projected by Cenk and Ana at the Young Turks, where it's if you're against us, then you're, worthy of ostracization. You're a traitor. Yeah, you've betrayed some sort of friendship, even though we were your employers, which is crazy. And you said that Cenk tried to get you to run for president, but now wants people to ignore your words about the network and the organization, like as if someone who would be worthy to represent us in the Oval Office we can't listen to when it comes to him and his network. I mean, that's insanity.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a textbook example of TYT's hypocrisy. Cenk once supported Mondale as a potential presidential candidate, someone worthy of leading the nation, but now when Mondale criticizes the network, his voice is suddenly invalid. This kind of inconsistency is not just insulting, it's intellectually dishonest. You don't get to cherry pick when someone's voice matters, and Mondale's critique of TYT should carry even more weight because of the respect and trust Cenk once had in him. Ignoring his insights now isn't just dismissive, it's a deliberate attempt to silence dissent. They really need to start practicing the principles they preach.
I mean, like the people, all you need to do is just go back and just look at our interactions, and it's never been a point where I didn't, and I knew I wasn't going to be at TYT long anyway, because there were some other conservative like people that were a couple people that were bothering me, that I feel like are way too soft on Israel and their policies, mainly Benjamin Netanyahu. So it was always going to be that rug for me. But I think for me, what the establishment that is TYT right now is unbelievable at how they are really trying to. They're not just gaslighting me. You're gaslighting all the people that follow TYT and everybody on that Substack who don't know me. Or maybe never had an interaction with the video of me saying I'm done with TYT. You are doing a disservice to those people because you didn't tell them what happened. Like you said, you just had to clarify something she said. You called us religious zealots. How am I? That's all I said. I said she called us religious zealots, and these people are acting MAGA-like, MAGA-like, and MAGA-light. Neither of those are beneficial to the left. And that's why I stand firm. My coalition with anybody will always end when you start throwing the progressive left under the bus.
I think this is a pretty fair line to draw in the sand, and he's holding TYT accountable for crossing it. His loyalty is to the movement, not to individuals or organizations that betray its values. I mean, the message is pretty clear and something that I honestly agree with. If you're not working towards equality and justice for all, you're not part of the solution. I mean, this should really be a wake-up call for anyone who claims to stand for progressive values.
When your policies and your ideology no longer align with what's going to make us equal and get us closer to equity, all of us, then we ain't in coalition anymore, and that's okay. So like I said, that's okay. But you cannot run around saying that we are in coalition because I'm going to tell the world about you as many opportunities as I get. And it's not about financial gain. It's about what we need to build right now before Trump get in office and start getting serious about where do we offer people a pushback on what MSNBC don't seem like they're going to do. We saw their main show and Joe and Mika say the same thing Cenk and Ana did. And I just think we need to be prepared on the political left for a real strong place to offer our peoples where to go. And they need to be able to consistently get progressive messaging. Ana and Cenk don't offer us that anymore. They don't.
Yep, 100%.
And I think they need to be comfortable and acknowledge that to the people because they owe it to so many people who invested so much in their network. And it's also true. Francesca said it on the show with John the other day. Why are we having so many black people and trans and gay people leave TYT if it's not a problem?
I mean, he makes a very logical point here. When marginalized voices are consistently leaving your organization, it's not a coincidence, it's a pattern. TYT loves to tout their progressive credentials, but actions speak louder than words. If they're creating a safe space that only feels comfortable for people like Ana and Cenk, then they've failed at being the inclusive platform they claim to be. I mean, that's simple logic.
The comfortness of Ana and her whiteness and not being able to hear. I've had this happen to me at an organization before. One of my good friends who was the most progressive person at this organization. And I got there and they hadn't had a black person that had been at the organization more than a year. I'm telling them what the problems is as I see them as a black person. And he's pushing back. This is a white guy from California. And he's pushing back. The organization was Democracy for America. He's pushing back because for so long he had been the most progressive person in this space. But I'm telling him, you are building a white safe space. Black people can't stay here. They don't stay here. Charlie, one of my good friends, the guy I'm talking about, couldn't see it. But when I articulated it in an entire message, and we brought in consultants, they too pointed it out, and that helped us move the organization DFA along further. Cenk and Ana aren't willing to do that. They're not doubling down at this point. They're quadrupling down on the fact that they're right, and you need to get in line if you're going to stay here. We gave their asses a pass when we should have smashed them as an entity when they were union busting.
Mhm.
When they were union busting, we should have shut them down then. But we gave them a pass.
Another great point. TYT, a self-proclaimed champion of the working class, actively tried to bust their employees' union. That's not just hypocrisy, it's a betrayal. The progressive community gave TYT a pass when they should have been held accountable. This moment is a reminder that no one, not even the so-called good guys, get a free pass when they abandon the principles that they claim to stand for. I mean, this is TYT's problem in a nutshell. They've literally become an echo chamber, and instead of listening to valid critiques, they double, or in this case, quadruple down on their righteousness. Mondale isn't the first person to call them out, and he definitely won't be the last. If they keep alienating their base, they'll end up with nothing but their own egos to keep them company. Of course, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts down in the comments, whether or not you agree or disagree with the points that I just made. I mean, at the end of the day, what matters is what the people think. So let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree. Be sure to give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.